Hello, everyone, and welcome to Balance Baby, the podcast designed to help you consistently show up as the best version of yourself. My name is Karen, and I'll be your host. I'll be here every week sharing stories and teaching you techniques to prioritize the only thing we have any control over in this world, ourselves. I am beyond excited for this week's episode. It's something I love to talk about, but haven't really had the opportunity to explain in detail. If you know me in real life, chances are you think of me whenever you see a ladybug. But if you don't already do so, you might start by the end of this episode. Today, we're diving deep into the magical world of signs from the universe and the incredible power of our intuition. I can't pinpoint when exactly I started believing in signs from the universe. In hindsight, it was probably that afternoon in my marital bedroom when I asked the question, "Is this it?" But it wasn't like an instantaneous knowing. It took a lot of time and introspection to connect those dots. The universe has an interesting way of bringing people, experiences, and information to us to lead us towards our highest path. Signs are messages sent to us by a higher power, a way for the universe to communicate with us and guide us on our path. These signs can come in many forms: objects, animals, numbers, songs, and synchronicities. They often appear when we need them the most, offering guidance, reassurance, or simply a reminder that we are not alone. They could be signs from a deceased loved one, or a guardian angel, or from the universe itself. When we do encounter signs, in those moments that seem to carry special significance, we often question their authenticity. Are they truly messages from the universe, or just random occurrences? The Swiss psychoanalyst Carl Jung introduced the term synchronicity to describe these seemingly meaningful coincidences. He proposed that there is a meaningful connection between events that are not casually related. For example, you're thinking of an old friend when you suddenly run into them. Or you're reliving the memories of your favorite concert when suddenly your playlist shuffles to a song from that same concert. These events feel interconnected, not because one caused the other, but because they resonate with a deeper universal meaning. Signs can take us from one state of being to another, like from despair to hope. Powerful guiding forces exist that steer us towards happier and more authentic lives. Once you learn to see these signs and messages, you will never be able to unsee them. They will forever have the power to infuse your past, present, and future with new and profound meaning, and in this way, transform your life. The universe is always sending us signs, whether you believe it or not, and it will continue to send us signs. Our job is simply to remain open to receiving these messages of love and guidance. I can't wait to share this next part with you, the stories that I hold near and dear to my heart. In Season 2, Episode 5, I spoke about spirit guides and teachers. I spoke briefly about a woman who I used to get laser treatments from. We'll just call her Auntie to make it easier to follow along. The first moment Auntie and I met, we clicked. She has the most amazing aura about her. She was the most enlightened human I've ever met. Everything about her felt like a warm hug, from the words she spoke to the tone she used and her general energy. She had a beautiful home where she welcomed her clients. She had a loving relationship with her husband and intelligent, successful children, happy and healthy grandkids, and spoke so lovingly about her daughter-in-law and son-in-law. It was really refreshing because that's not what you get from most Indian aunties. I would see her a few times a year, but every time I saw her, the vibes were the same. She was older than my mom, but we connected very deeply, and I learned so much from her in a short period of time. She was a retired LPN, so we initially got along talking about nursing and what drove us to the field. We slowly transitioned into talking about spirituality, and she would often recommend books or YouTube videos for me to look into. For example, she was my first introduction to the teachings of Dr. Wayne Dyer. I appreciated the guidance so much because other than my therapist, no one else in my life was really on a spiritual path at that time. Although she was born in India, her family immigrated to Canada in the 60s, so she grew up in Canada. She would always talk so lovingly about her parents, and especially her dad. The way she talked about him, he came across as someone incredibly wise and deeply spiritual. Now, I can't remember the exact story, but this was the gist of it. She told me how he always kept a beautiful garden and how he loved hummingbirds. There would often be hummingbirds at his house when she would go to visit him. When he eventually passed away, the day he passed away, Auntie's husband told her, "Come quick, you have to see this." She went to the back patio where her husband was, and there was a hummingbird in her backyard. No hummingbird had come to her yard before, but today, of all days, there was one. She had the confirmation she needed that her dad was okay and that he was still with her. How freaking beautiful. I love that so much. So much so that the next time I saw my therapist, I was telling her the same story. This was in the thick of my separation and divorce, so my whole life was very much a roller coaster. I felt very pulled between the new life I was stepping into and the old life I was leaving behind. I needed more reassurance and clarity than any other time in my life. My therapist said something very interesting to me. She said, I could also choose a symbol, one that would represent the universe, something to symbolize that I was in alignment and on the right path. As soon as she said I could choose a symbol chose me. My brain was flooded with warm thoughts of a childhood memory. My cousin lived beside a farm, and I used to spend a lot of time there growing up. The neighbors raised livestock and had long, tall grass growing in their yard. We would often go outside and feed the goats through the fence. And every once in a while, hundreds of ladybugs would fly out of the tall grass. Although I hated bugs, there was something about ladybugs that I always liked. When my therapist said I could choose a symbol, my brain instantly played a memory of ladybugs flying out of the tall grass, and I knew then that ladybugs were my symbol from the universe. But then, something truly magical happened. Soon after my therapy session, I was headed to the beach with my friend. We were chatting and catching up on the drive, and I told her about this new symbol I had to signify my alignment with my higher self and source energy and just the universe in general. As I was telling her this story, I felt so uplifted, and I felt all the good energy flowing within me. She got excited about the idea and decided she was going to figure out a symbol as well. Anyways, We got to the beach and the tide was way out. We wanted to set up our beach chairs so that our feet were in the water, but it would be a few hours before we could do that from the shore. So we decided to walk as far out as possible and just move backwards as the tide started to come in. So we're sitting on the beach in our chairs in the middle of where the ocean should be, just enjoying our afternoon. As we're talking, my friend was looking at me, and a ladybug literally landed in my hair. I was in disbelief. I had just been talking about how ladybugs are my symbol from the universe, that I'm in alignment, and within 30-40 minutes of that conversation, a real ladybug lands on me in the middle of the beach at low tide where no ladybugs should be. I couldn't even process it. The ladybug just chilled there with us for a bit until it eventually flew off. A little while later, the tide was coming in quickly and water was beginning to pool all around us. We decided to relocate to the shore. As we were walking back with our stuff, we noticed a piece of seaweed floating by, and on it was a ladybug. Maybe the same one. I have no idea. I scooped it up so it wouldn't drown, and it caught a ride back to shore on my arm. It crawled around my hand and my wrist, drying its wings, and after a few minutes, it flew away. If I had any doubts at all, they were gone. I can't logically explain how a ladybug ended up in my hair, and then again on a floating piece of seaweed in the middle of the ocean. It felt like a powerful affirmation from the universe, telling me I was exactly where I needed to be, both physically and spiritually. This experience was more than just a coincidence. It was a synchronicity, a meaningful coincidence that was too perfect to be random. It reinforced my belief that when we are open to the universe and its messages, we can receive guidance and reassurance in the most unexpected ways. And those ladybugs were just the first of hundreds I have seen over the last 4 years, reminding me to stay hopeful and trust in the journey. And although this all sounds fun and uplifting, you might be wondering why someone should look for signs from the universe. Recognizing and interpreting these signs can bring a deeper sense of connection and meaning to our lives. It's like having a personal compass to help guide us through life's ups and downs. Signs can provide comfort during tough times, validate our decisions, and inspire us to take bold steps towards our dreams. So, how do you start recognizing the signs? The first step is to be open and aware. Pay attention to the patterns and synchronicities in your life. Have you ever thought of someone and then they called you out of the blue? Or maybe you heard a song that perfectly resonates with your current situation. These are not mere coincidences. They are the universe's way of speaking to you. Some common signs include seeing repeat numbers like 1111 or 333, or encountering animals in unusual ways, or finding feathers or coins, and experiencing other synchronicities. These signs often have personal meaning that resonates with our unique life experiences. But here's the exciting part. You can also ask for specific signs. If you're seeking guidance or confirmation, you can request a particular sign from the universe. It could be anything, a specific animal, a particular word, or even a song. The key is to be clear in your request and open to receiving the messages in unexpected ways. My friend from the beach day decided on rainbows as her symbol. So whenever I see a rainbow, I think of her. And as she navigates her journey, she sees them all the time. Actually, she just got back from a trip to Australia and saw so many rainbows while she was there. But the most significant was a triple rainbow on her last day. Do you know how rare that is? I had to Google it, and there's only been 5 reported in the last 250 years. She is one of a few humans who has ever gotten to witness something so magical. The universe was definitely communicating with her, and now it's up to her to connect the dots and determine what it all means. Right now, I feel fortunate because I'm in a place where I'm more aligned than ever before. So yes, I see the ladybugs. I see the angel numbers. I'm constantly noticing synchronicities. But the part that's been truly life-changing is my connection with my intuition. There are some signs that you cannot see and you cannot hear, but you feel them deep inside, like a gut feeling or a sixth sense. Connecting with our intuition allows us to make decisions that align with our highest good, leading to a more fulfilling and authentic life. Trusting your intuition is like building a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Over time, you'll find that your intuition becomes a reliable source of guidance and wisdom. One way to strengthen your intuition is through meditation and mindfulness. By quieting the mind and tuning into our inner selves, we create space for our intuitive insights to come through. Meditation helps us become more aware of our thoughts and feelings, allowing us to distinguish between which ones are truly guiding us and which ones are just noise. Even a few minutes of mindfulness each day can make a significant difference in how connected we feel to our intuition and the signs from the universe. Another great way to enhance your intuition is by journaling. Writing down your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help you identify patterns and themes in your life. It's a powerful way to reflect on the signs you've received and how they've guided you. Over time, you may notice recurring symbols or messages that become more apparent as you put them into words. Journaling can also serve as a record of your journey, allowing you to look back and see how the universe has been communicating with you all along. Albert Einstein was famously quoted as saying, "The intuitive mind is a sacred gift, and the rational mind is a faithful servant. We have created a society that honors the servant and has forgotten the gift." It's important to trust the process and be patient with yourself. Developing a deep connection with your intuition and the universe takes time and practice. There will be moments of doubt and uncertainty, but that's all part of the journey. Remember, the universe always has your back, and it's constantly working to guide you towards your highest good. And don't forget to express your gratitude whenever you do receive a sign. Doing so will put you in a high vibration of joy and love and allow amazing experiences to enter your life. Thank you so much for tuning in to my 8th episode of Season 2. As you go about your day, start paying attention to the little things. Notice the patterns, the synchronicities, and the gut feelings. Take a moment to acknowledge them and see how they resonate with your current situation. You might be surprised at how often the universe is trying to communicate with you. And remember, it's okay to ask for signs and to trust that you are being guided. I hope this episode has inspired you to explore the magical world of signs from the universe and to deepen your connection with your intuition. The journey is unique for each of us, but it's filled with wonder and discovery. Trust the signs, trust your intuition, and know that you are always supported. I can't wait to continue sharing all the people and all the places the universe has guided me to. If you're enjoying my podcast, please consider leaving a 5-star review. And I'll see you next week for episode 9. Together here, we're creating a community of beautiful souls ready to uplift each other, ready to experience all the joy that this life has to offer us. And don't forget, life is all about balance, baby. Balance, baby.